Bond Schenek and King presents Copyright Ownership, Work for Hire.
When it comes to copyright ownership, actually who owns the copyright is really very important. Normally the person who creates the work that the law happens to call an author, and that applies whether or not they happen to be creating a literary work, a motion picture, or a song. They're all called authors, and the authors own the work. However, what happens in the situation involving an employment situation? Well, that's where the concept of work for hire comes into play. If it is a traditional employment relationship in which an employer hires someone to either create any type of copy, any type of literary work, any type of design work, or software, then the law automatically says that the employer owns that work, not the particular employee who created it. The biggest issue comes into play is what happens with independent contractors, because in that situation we don't have a standard employment relationship. Well, the law says we're going to allow the person who is doing the hiring to actually own the work if two particular tests are met. The first test is that it has to be in writing. You must have not only it signed by both parties, but it has to have the words work for hire, sometimes called work made for hire, both interchangeable, but the fact is it has to have those words. Without that, you haven't even met the first test. And oddly enough, there's a second test that has a group of categories that the work must be part of to qualify for a work for hire. These 9 categories include if it's part of a larger literary work or a motion picture, a translation, or if something is supplemental to another work, such as a biography to a novel, a compilation of works, instructions, a test, answers to a test, and an atlas. If it doesn't meet any of those tests, then there is not a work for hire with an independent contractor. And the way you get around that for the person that's actually paying for the work is to make sure you have an assignment of the work from the independent contractor to the purchaser.
Bond Schenek and King. Experience commitment to service and value from a law firm anticipating and responding to your unique needs.